Good evening, service crew. Fighting pilot extraordinaire Ace Windfall. Ready for takeoff. Is my music good? Hold on. Yeah, I hear it. There it is. Nice. Happy Wednesday, everyone. I guess my voice is a little bit weak still. It's not gone, though. I'm just now noticing it. I haven't talked enough today to, like, notice it, but now that I'm, like, paying attention to it, it's a little bit weird, but I think we'll be fine. We'll be fine. Not a whole lot of intense action today. Sitting back, relaxing. I have a nice chamomile mint citrus. I have the little packet right here. Orange peel, lemongrass, peppermint, spearmint, green tea, chamomile. It smells good. It tastes good. It looks like piss. But damn, is it good. What's up, Harmonica? Happy Wednesday. What are you mmming? That's hot though. Fuck. This is good though. Okay, throw that away. Just a just an. That's allowed. You can all you want. But it's Wednesday. I feel like I mentioned it was only 2 weeks ago. It feels like longer. But I was like, oh, I want to do it more often. The just chatting, the free chatting. And originally, I think Ben called me out on it. That I think I said every like once a month. That meant at least once a month. If I want to do it more often, I could do it more often. That's my prerogative. It's my channel. Dang it, I can do what I want. Yo, what's up, Sultari? Welcome back. Welcome back. Thank you for the resub. Well, congratulations on your continued promotion as service crew chief? Was that the bit? I don't know. I'm still working on it. I think the bit is now that I keep saying that I'm working on the bit. Eventually it will stick normally and I'll say it normally, but right now just being confused about what it is really good. Hey, what's up, Chungo? Howdy, howdy. The end of the brake line that we thought looked a bit off, might have been off, as the brake decided to stick and got to the point we were smoking when we noticed. Hold on, so you thought it was road legal, right, your car? Did this happen while on the road? And you had to, like, bring it back and, like, get all sorted out? So it's not over yet, it keeps going down. It didn't affect driving. I feel like when your brake decides to stick, that kind of affects driving a little bit. Oh, just as you pulled in the driveway. Oh, shit. That's pretty lucky then. Like, if it happened anywhere else, that could have been really bad. I guess your brake sticking... Between your brake sticking and your brake not braking at all, the former is better. Because not being able to go is better than not being able to stop. Smelled like real bad barbecue. Ooh. What does real bad barbecue smell like? I know what good barbecue smells like. I've been very, very lucky in my life never to have bad barbecue. Covered in brake dust. Ooh. That is not good at all. So now you have to go back to the drawing board, pop it back open. Is this hard to get to? Like, you just have to pop the wheel off and you should be able to get to it, right? From what I vaguely remember. Not that popping the wheel off is easy, but, like, in the grand scheme of things. So you're a pro at it. You're a pro at it, then. All go smoothly. Trust the plan. You could go into the F1 with the amount of times you pop this wheel off, probably. Replacing the cable. Oh, is that part of what you have to do? Is it the actual cable that went out then? Into the brake line. Okay, so yeah, probably that. Hoping you use the cable, and then praying and testing again and seeing if you get wheel dust and all that stuff. Shaolin for sure. My day's been good though. I did I've been watching movies as I am wont to do. I've been watching movies again. I think on Monday someone had asked me what movies I saw over the weekend. I think it was Joe. Joe asked me like what movies I saw over the weekend. I told him 2, and since then I've watched 2 more. The power of having a new streaming service. It's pretty great, honestly. How's my hopium for Cal? It's there. It's there. I'm trusting the plan. I don't think I have anything new to report on the CalCit front yet, because we had the stuff yesterday. I think I did my dailies today. Yeah, I did. I did log in and do all that stuff. So I think we're good on that. So I have nothing new to report on there. Whenever I have more information, I'll be able to tell you more, but right now I just need to focus on like trying to do the last 2 X's. I think I'll probably try to do that tomorrow. The other 2 X's. If I get them, I get them, which is good for more. It's good for more Originium Prime, but like, if I don't get them, so be it, right? Type of films are you watching? Yeah. So I don't know if you were there for it, Sultari. In the recent week, I've watched 4 movies. I talked about the first 2 a little bit on Monday. I watched, so overall, out of the 4, 2 of them are, I was gonna say Akira Toriyama. That's not right. That's the dude who does Dragon Ball. Kurosawa. 2 of them have been Kurosawa. I've watched a lot of his, like, period piece stuff before. Like, Seven Samurai, Rashomon, the Sanjuro and Yojimbo. Other way around. But, like, recently the 2 that I watched were Ikiru, and it's called High and Low, but the Japanese title is Tengoku to Jikoku, which is Heaven and Hell, which I feel like that would have been a more interesting title, but I don't know if like they couldn't put Hell in a movie title back when this was first released, and that's why it's called High and Low instead, because High and Low still works, because it's about, at the very end, it's about the... It's a really good movie. All the movies I watched in the last 4 movies I watched, all of them are really good. But like, High and Low specifically is about, there's this businessman. He likes to make shoes. He's part of like the CEO group, whatever the execs. And there's like the old man. There's like the boss old man. There's like 3 other execs, and then there's him. And the 3 other execs come to him and say, "Hey, we want to push the old man out. He wants to make like army boots, like just really high, like really industrious stuff. We think that's hokey. We want to make just cheap fucking shit that's gonna break in like a week because it's gonna be profitable for us." And the main character, one of the main characters, is like, "No, you're wrong and you're wrong. What we should do is just make a good quality shoe." So it tells you a lot about his character, that he likes doing what he's doing, and he's a very principled man. And then the other 3 like go away, and it's like, oh, there's not a lot of like, there's some tension there, and he shoos them away. And then this entire time, like his son and his son's friend are like running around, and whenever after he shoos them away, they talk, and like he's explaining to his wife and his like right-hand man, like, "Oh, those 3 don't know it, and the old man doesn't know it, but I've just about accumulated enough shares to buy out all of them. They'll have a 46% share combined. I'll have 47% share combined. All I need to do is deliver this 50,000 yen check." I think it was 50,000 yen, something like that, where it's like, or 50 million? It might have been 50 million yen. Some large amount of money check. 50 million sounds more correct, but it was in like the 1950s, so I don't know. Like 50, 60, something like that. He's like, "All I need to do is deliver this check. So right hand man, you're gonna take that, go on the plane, go there." But then he gets a call, and it's someone has kidnapped his son and is holding him hostage, and they need like 30,000, like 3/5 of whatever it was. And it's like, oh no. So what is he gonna do? Is he gonna give the money up to the kidnapper, or he's gonna like go through with the plan? And that's just the first act. From there, it kind of evolves and goes on to, I guess, spoilers. If you want to go watch High and Low, go watch it now. It's on HBO Max. By the time this is done, I'll probably still be on and we can talk about it more then. But his son then walks in the room and he's really happy. He and his wife are really happy, and they go and they hug the son. It's like, oh, it must have been some kind of sick joke. And then they say, wait, where's your friend? It turns out his son was not kidnapped. It was his son's friend was kidnapped. His son's friend, by the way, is the son of his driver, his chauffeur. And so then it becomes well, this isn't my son. If it was my son, of course I'm going to give him the money, but it's not my son, it's his son. And like, if I can like use this money, I can buy out and I can do like good stuff with you know, my company. And because it's not my son, it's like, why do you expect me to pay this? It's not my son. What are you going to do to him? Like, it's the son of a chauffeur. The chauffeur can't pay. And so there's a whole lot of like what is correct morally, and in the end he does do the right choice where he's like, morally, yes, you know what, fuck it, I will pay. I can't even if it is not my son, even if this man is crazy and expects me to pay for another man's son, of course I'm gonna like go with the ransom and all this. And that's the halfway point of the movie. When the money gets exchanged, the son comes back. The other half of the movie then is the police get involved, and it's about them trying to track down and find out who was the kidnapper. Like the friend's son was kidnapped, and they talk to him, and they like there's just an entire like investigative angle where they like, okay, he must have known that the windows of the train opened 2.75 centimeters, enough for these bags of money to be pushed out there as part of the ransom. And he must have known, he must have been able to see the main character's house on top of the hill, right? That's where the high and low comes from, is that the main character, being, you know, rich, fancy executive, has a house like high up on a hill, and they kind of like realize like, oh, the person who did this likely lives somewhere below the hill of him. So it's like high and low, and it's like there's some like class related things there. It's not super prevalent, but there's like a little bit of that. And then like it goes on, like they find out who it is, and eventually they capture him. And then the very last scene is, you know, them talking back and forth about why he did it, because the main character's never met the kidnapper in his life. They have literally no connection whatsoever. It was just that the kidnapper ends up being like, yeah, I saw your house on that hill, just mocking me every single day, and I just couldn't stand it anymore. Really, really good. Could have inspired Parasite. Ooh. I'm trying to remember what Parasite was. I know there was a lot of class stuff, and I know there was, there was like the haves and the have-nots kind of a thing. I feel like it's not like overall, like Parasite's not overall inspired by it, but I can see probably like bits and pieces going into it, because it doesn't play similarly. It's mostly about the very first, like if you divide it into like 3 acts or in like 3 parts or whatever, the first part is literally just in the like living room of their house. And I thought the whole movie was going to take place there. Like, that's where they have the conversation with the main character and the 3 like executives. And then once that's done, the ransom happens in that same room. And then the son comes in, same room. They call the police come in, they're still in that same room. Like, they stay in that room for the first like hour of the movie. And I thought that was just going to be the whole movie until they start like moving around with the detective stuff. But very, very solid movie. And as I watched it, and as I watched Ikiru as well, both of them I knew a little bit about. Just I knew scenes and bits and pieces, not like the overall story, but I knew like scenes, and I perked up when I saw them because of have you guys ever seen Every Frame a Painting? That is a YouTube channel that I don't think is, I'm pretty sure they ended like Every Frame a Painting. But it is a channel that I will always recommend, because I think they do very, very good work on like film analysis. They have an episode on like Jackie Chan and like action comedy. They have an episode on on a lot of ones, but the one specifically that I'm thinking of is they have one on Kurosawa and movement, and I noticed it more so in these two movies, especially in High and Low, because it's very well done in that. But like the way he just has like the movement in his shots, and like the way he makes mundane dialogue scenes or like bits really stand out with how like characters move or how they just don't move. Which that's a very generalized statement, but like there's a really good part where there's like 6 people in that room, the room that like the first hour of the movie takes place in, and the main character pulls out like his toolkit because he's like, I'm gonna go work on this. I'm gonna implant this little like capsule in these bags that we're gonna give him for the ransom. Because then if he burns the bags, because they're really ugly looking bags that will stand out, if he burns the bags, it will release pink smoke, which the movie's in black and white. And eventually he does burn the bags, and it actually makes it pink smoke, which I thought was really cute. I was like, it's black and white, how's the pink smoke gonna look? And they actually, like, I guess they went through and added pink smoke, like, because I assume you can't do the entire thing in color just because it's expensive or it's hard to do, but they can definitely just go and take, like, some pink paint and paint it on top for a couple of frames, and I think that's what they did. It was really cute when that happened. But when he's putting the, like, editing it to put the capsule in there, he's working, there are 5 other people on screen, and they're just frozen, like not even moving, just looking at him. And it's just like, you saw people moving before, but as soon as he started working, everyone just like stopped in place and just looked at it. And it was really like, there's that, or like the way when his chauffeur is begging with him, please pay the ransom, I want to see my son. He's like just going in and out of, like he has curtains, like covering up the sliding glass like doors. He has curtains, and he's just like halfway in the curtains, like running back and forth, or walking back and forth, pacing back and forth, and just the way that like the curtains are doing, it's just really, really interesting. Dog shit house versus the modern Wonder Home house dichotomy. That's true. I feel like it was a lot more pronounced in Parasite, because you don't really get the dog shit house until like halfway through, whenever it like reveals the other parts of the movie. But yeah, there's definitely a bit of that. Also, the Wonder Home has a dark side too, which it doesn't really impact this one as much, because the Wonder Home is just like, it's good people, and they want to do the right thing, and they do end up doing the right thing. And because he had to spend that money, he was in debt. It actually does not work out well for him. He has to sell his house. He ends up like going into debt, and it's like, it does not have a happy ending for him. And when he sees the dude at the end, he asks them why, and it's just, because I don't like you, because I saw like you taunting. And it's just like, I kind of like that the movies don't, like, both Kurosawa movies were very, very good, but their endings did not leave me going like, yeah, they left me going like, that was a good movie. That really, like, very shades of gray almost, I don't know. I would say in Parasite, they introduced it super duper early. Like, I feel like, because that's the entire, like, thesis of Parasite almost, is like the upper and the lower, the high and the low, right? Yeah, I was talking about high and low itself, yeah. I have no idea what's going on in the story. So it's a kidnapping gone wrong, which then turns into a find the kidnapper cop drama thing. It's very good. It's on HBO. Go watch it. Another thing that's on HBO, I just watched it today. Transition. Segue. You guys ever play the game Stalker? I have. They're good. Of course they're good. You ever watch the movie Stalker? I can now say that I have. That's on HBO too, apparently. I did not know that. What's up, Seg? What's up? Hope your day has been good. You came in just in time. We're talking about Stalker, the 1979 movie. The movie that is based off the book Roadside Picnic, which inspired the Stalker series of games. Which is about... in the Stalker series of games, it's the Chernobyl nuclear power plant went haywire and created the zone in Roadside Picnic, and also, I guess, in Stalker the movie. They don't really go into it in the movie, but... in those two, something happened. A meteor came and created the zone. In the book, they explain more that it was like aliens, and the aliens just left their trash like around, and that's what created the zone. In the movie, they don't really go into it. It's super early. I mean, that's early, but it's also like I just watched 2 Japanese Kurosawa films, and those were like the 50s. So my ideas are very skewed on this. But there's not as much plot in Stalker 79. I get there is, but like I would also recommend go watching it just because like if you like the Stalker games, go watch it because it's a very like it has a good vibe to it. It gets, I don't know if heady's the right word. There's a very interesting like near the end, and it's all about like hope versus hopelessness, things like that. The most interesting bit to me though that I audibly gasped at was the first like. I thought it was going to be in black and white, or I guess more so yellow and black, or yellow and white, or yellow, black, white. Like, I thought it was going to be like an iodine or a bromide kind of like... I thought that's just how they made movies in Russia, which maybe that is how they made movies in Russia. Because the opening of the movie is just like the guy who's going to lead them through the zone, the stalker, is like at home and talking with his wife. He leaves his wife and is like, yeah, I gotta go do my stalker business. She's like, why do you have to do this? Don't, you're gonna get thrown in jail again. No, why do you do this, right? And then he goes and he meets the 2 people that he's gonna be escorting to the zone. And the entire thing is in like black and white, yellow, black and white this entire time. And once they get into the zone, I audibly gasped when it showed, like, it cuts from their faces, like in yellow and black and white or whatever, and it cuts from their faces to green. It's in color. It's almost like the Wizard of Oz, because I didn't know that it would go into color. So when it goes from like this entire yellow drab movie just into just the greenery of this deserted Chernobyl-esque landscape of the zone where nature has retaken like everything, and it's just that for the majority of the rest of the movie, I just was like, what? Because I was not expecting to see like it's a beautiful movie, honestly. Just how much like green and just how like vibrant almost it looks like, and how just like it, because it's showing you like the life of the zone is full of life, but not really, because it's all if you play the games, you understand like the zone is a weird place where like nature is reclaimed, but at the same time it's very anomalous, and they don't go into like, you don't get to see any anomalies or anything. Well, you do get to see like 1 or 2, but it's not like the main focus of the movie. It's more about the characters. You have the stalker himself, you have a writer, and you have a professor, and they're all just about like going into the zone for their own purposes. The writer, the professor, because when you go into the zone, you can go to this place called The Room, starring Tommy Wiseau, and you get to make a wish. And so they hire the stalker to lead them through the zone to the room to make a wish. That's the general premise. And wacky hijinks ensue. Were you part of the Danny movie nights? We watched some Kurosawa and other kinos. I was for some of them. I don't know if I watched which ones I was there for. I know I was there for watching like the early Danny movie nights, like back in like 2013, like back when he did Friday Night Frights and all that stuff with he would play a horror game, and then he would play a horror movie. So that's like where I watched The Thing for the first time. I don't know if I watched the newer ones as much. About to watch The Godfather. Good choice, Seg. Have you watched it before? The Godfather's good. I haven't watched I should rewatch it, honestly. I think I only watched it like once or maybe twice. I also want to watch The Godfather 2 again because I want to see if I've got better taste now. But I wasn't a huge fan of Godfather 2. Even though like it's a very like good question. Which one do you like more, Godfather 1 or Godfather 2? Because some people like 2 more, some people like 1 more. I think they're both goods, but 1 is just so much simpler. 1 is like a like, it's not a movie. I call things like Star Wars, A New Hope, or like, what are other like movies where it's just like, that is a movie. Star Wars: A New Hope, the first Back to the Future. Like those are like they are just perfect 3-act structure movies. It's just bump, bump, bump. Godfather's a little bit more nuanced in there, but that's like capital C cinema, The Godfather. Godfather 2 gets a little bit weirder because it goes back and forth between like Don Corleone as a young man and Vito Corleone. Vito's the main character, right? As a current man, and so it's swapping back and forth between them, so it gets a little bit muddier. So when I watched it as a younger man, I might not have like got it as much. But I think I should rewatch that at some point just to really like get that back in. But Godfather 1 at the very least, both of them, but at the very least Godfather 1 just that is capital C cinema. It's really good. You will hopefully enjoy it. If you like I don't I don't like saying the aesthetic of the Italian Mafia because I get that it shouldn't be an aesthetic. Like, that's a real thing, and it's not a good thing, right? But goddamn, I am not immune to propaganda. So, yeah. Gonna go watch cinema. Nice, nice. I hope you enjoy it, Seg. Enjoy your Godfather. Enjoy your Italian Mafia movie. One of your personal favorites you did was House. You should watch that and experience unlike any other. House. Is that a horror movie? Is that the one with the yeah, is this the one with like the piano that eats a woman? I'll say this is a 1977 Japanese horror movie. It looks like. I want to say it's the one with, yeah, it's that, yeah. I don't know if I watched it. I think I just knew that bit, and that's it. I'll add that to the list. Watch now on HBO Max. Oh, fuck yeah, we're in there. We're so fucking back. That's what I got access to, and it's on it. Let's go. Houseu, 1977. Watch. Add that in my notes page. That's a good one. What else did I watch? I watched Ikiru, which is good. High and Low, Stalker, and then the only other one was Terminator, which I had never seen Terminator before. Terminator is basically a movie as well. It's a little bit better than a movie, I think, or it's a little bit different just because it's more action. But yeah, I liked it. Noroi, I have not yet. That's still on my list because you've recommended that before. Because I haven't gotten around to acquiring it from any of my, from a, you know, subscription service or other method. But I'd be super down to, once I get the opportunity to go around and get it, I do want to watch Noroi because the aesthetic is very it's analog horror, right, or something like that, where you could legally get it. It says YouTube Prime or AMC Plus or the Roku channel. I don't know if these are like global or if they're only in Japan that I can get them, but those are all allegedly options. Definitely not high budget. Yeah, because I think we talked about it before. It's very like documentary style, and it's like found footage, which makes me think very like analog horror. And it's like I'm looking at the wiki page right now. Made up of footage recorded by Kobayashi's cameraman. Like, and I am a fan of J-horror. I am a hopeless weeaboo, honestly. And there's just a certain like, and not even that. Like I like looking at foreign film when I get the chance, just because it's a very different outlook on things. You have different ideologies or different like theses, worldviews, ways of life that get thrown into them. Like the reason like that Russian apocalyptic stuff is really interesting. Like that, it's just like, I don't know, bits of their culture or whatever. Like you get Metro, you get Stalker. There's so many like. There's probably more that I can't think of off the top of my head, but there's like a lot of stuff that in that is just really like unique and integral to like Eastern Europe and to like Russia. And you get like another. This is my recommendation. Still, sorry, I don't know if you've seen this, but you like movies. Have you seen RRR? That is an international movie that came out this year, last year, something like that. That is a high recommendation for me. It is a Bollywood film, but like it is like I'm glad I got it through a meme. I saw a meme that involved RRR. A friend explained what RRR was, and then I watched it and I was like, this is a legitimately entertaining and like good experience and very moving, and I like the idea that it presents where at the end it's a film about like friendship, and that's like, oh, that's adorable. It's about two people that like come together, they become friends, but then they become enemies, but then they become friends again. It's just like, ooh. The movie's called RRR. It's about an older woman that No, yeah, RRR, which stands for Rise, Revolt, it doesn't actually stand for that. I mean, it does show that in the movie, but it doesn't, like, the movie is just RRR, but it allegedly stands for, come on, Control F, Rise, will that show me? Rise, Roar, Revolt. Oh, I was close. Or alternatively, it can also stand for something in other language, which translates to Rage, War, Blood. But Rise, Roar, Revolt is good too. It is a very passionate film, which is why I really enjoyed it, because it's just it smeared passion on the screen, and a mixture of passion and like the main theme being friendship. Both of those are just very like, ooh, they touch my heart in a way that I don't get very often. Who Killed Captain Alex? Is that? I don't think I've actually watched that. But I've always heard that one's good too. Oh, that's the Wakaliwood. That's what it was. I forgot all about that. What's the one with I'm the Captain Now? Because for some reason I thought Who Killed Captain Alex was that one. Every time anyone mentioned that, I just always assumed, like, I thought for some reason that was the name, because it's like, I'm the captain now, because maybe they killed the captain, played by Private Ryan. Not Private Ryan, whoever the guy from Private Ryan is, though. Private Ryan. Oh, what's his name? Why can I? Tom Hanks. T. Hanks. Tom Hanks captain. Captain Phillips. Who Killed Captain Alex? Captain Phillips. I'm the captain now. There's a lot going on there. I don't think that's even from a film. Maybe a parody. No, I Am the Captain Now is from Captain Phillips. When like I like Tom Hanks is Captain Richard Phillips and he's on a boat, and then the pirates like get on it and there's like, look at me, I'm the captain now, or something like that. That's what it comes from. But no one has watched that movie, including myself. They just know it from that meme. Because I don't know why. I don't know how that like scene, I guess that scene was just a good scene and it just had more staying power than the entire movie, which I believe. Because I've never seen the movie, but that meme is very like, it stays in your head, right? Tea's good. What is it? Orange, lemongrass, peppermint, spearmint, chamomile, green tea. What's chamomile? Is that what I'm like tasting? It's like a flower or something, I assume. It's good though. Scene is just more powerful than the whole film. That's true. Oh, I also watched. I saw it on TV a little bit today. I saw like the last 30 minutes of Fellowship of the Ring, which I like Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings is really good. case in point. What you got, Sultari? Yes! Dr. Pavel, I'm CIA. You don't get to bring friends. The Masked Man. Bane? Oh, can I, how much of this can I do? Fuck. There's room on, this passenger list says I have 1 passenger. There are 3 of you. Who's gonna talk? And they open the plane door or whatever. I don't remember. But then he shoots the gun and he says, he didn't fly so good. Why would you shoot a man before throwing him out of a plane? A lot of loyalty for a hired gun. That entire scene is so Kino. Kino with a lowercase k. I love it so much. Where's the famous line? I just want to hear this one.
It doesn't matter.
I love that. He just like breaks out laughing.
What matters is our plan. You're a big guy. Are you?
There it is. There it is. It's a good. It's not like. It's a meme, but at the same time, I kind of like it. I don't know if it's just hostage, like, Stockholm Syndrome or something, but, like, I saw that like, scene so much circa, like, a decade ago, right, when it was, like, the hot meme, when Bane posting was really hot. And just, like, it's such a good scene. It sets up Bane really well. It's just, like... The way it just like seen out of context is just so fucking goofy because of the way the back and forth of you're a big guy. It's because he says you're a big guy that just ruins the entire like flow of that out of context, and it's really fucking funny. If I pull that off, will you die? It will be extremely painful. You're a big guy for you. It's like, because if you don't understand the way that Bane was structuring that, it will be extremely painful for you, and you just see you're a big guy for you. It kind of breaks a little bit, and it's just really goofy. I never understood why the whole like, who would shoot a man before throwing him out of a plane? I was just like, what the fuck does that mean? But I kind of get it now. After watching that scene 45 times, I kind of get it. It's like, why would you shoot a man before throwing him out of a plane? You could just throw him out the plane. He's gonna die. Like, what's the point about shooting him? But I don't know why Bane would think that's weird, because you could still just shoot a man and throw him out the plane. It's not that weird. Like, we get it, Bane. You're smart, but like, you can still shoot a man and throw him out of the plane. It doesn't matter. Bullets aren't that expensive. It's a good movie, though. The entire trilogy is really good, too. I haven't seen... I don't think any of them in a while, but, like, I enjoyed Batman Begins a whole lot more than I think people give it credit for, but that's because I have a man crush on Cillian Murphy, I think. Ever since Sunshine, I'm a big Cillian Murphy stan. I have not gotten to see Oppenheimer yet, though, so take that for what you will. I heard it's good, but I want to go see it on like a big screen or in the comfort of my home. And seeing on like a big like IMAX screen is, I just can't be asked. So I'll wait until I can see it in the comfort of my home and see men talking in rooms for 3 hours. That and Barbie, yeah. Because I heard Barbie was really good too, actually. Like Barbie was more so like it wasn't just like a Barbie. It was like they actually do like, it's like a genre deconstruction almost. So I've heard Barbie is like even better. Like I was like, oh, Barbie's probably gonna be a fun little romp, and also it has Cyberpunk 2077. No, what is it? Who? It has Ryan Gosling. Is that the one? Is that the right one? It has Ken in it, who is also very good, and he screams really funnily, as I found out in. Oh, there's a movie with him and Barney? No, Fred Flintstone. from the live action. Okay, hold on. Let me deconstruct my train of thought. Fred Flintstone, live action. Good. I don't think it's no. Is it Goodman? That doesn't sound right. Oh, but it's called The Good Guys. Is it The Good Guys movie? The Nice Guys with Russell Crowe and Ryan Gosling. And in it, he gets, like, punched, and he, like, screams, and his scream is really funny. And so, apparently, that's just a thing with Ryan Gosling, is his scream is just really, like... Have you guys heard Ryan Gosling scream before, actually? Hold on. Oh, when you type in Ryan Gosling, it becomes, Barbie-themed on Google. That's adorable. Here. Listen to this. That's the one.
Jesus! Shit! Get the fuck over here! Pray! Let me hear you fucking pray! Everybody get down on the fucking floor!
I love it. It's like if I were to act. It's so adorable. I just love this one so much. It's just so high-pitched and whiny. I love it. But yeah, Barbenheimer I think would be a very surprisingly fun time, and just the entire idea about let's take these two movies that couldn't be any further apart and like celebrate them and celebrate film. It's really adorable. I like it. But I need to go see it. The composer for Oppenheimer. Ultimately, do you find being shot or falling to your death more intimidating? Ooh. Back on the Bane posting, yeah, that is a bit more interesting. But for Oppenheimer, because Oppenheimer has, what is it, a John Williams score, right? I didn't watch Oppenheimer, but I watched the Red Letter Media review of it, which they gave it like glowing praise and everything. But they did mention one thing, which got me to laugh because they had an edit to go with it, was the John Williams score was good, but it felt a little bit like too much in some of the talking scenes. Again, I'm parroting an opinion that's not my own, so I don't know whether that's true or not. But then they showed they edited like a clip of 12 Angry Men to have like a John Williams score as like the background, and it was very well done, and also was like it makes me like a little bit interested in just like how the score is brought in when there is just a lot of talking. Because I think if it's good like dialogue, then just having it like be quiet, or having the music be diegetic. Yeah, diegetic, as in occurring within the context of the story. Like if someone puts on a record player, that's diegetic music. What's the other one that's not diegetic? But diegetic antonym? Non-diegetic. Oh, well. Don't know what I was expecting there. But I hear it's very, very good. Has a lot of scenes of men in rooms talking, which is, as I grow older, like good action is very nice. Watching The Terminator for the very first time over the weekend, that's good action. It has like 4 action scenes. All of them take place in like a dirty, shitty city. It felt very real, very like down to earth and grounded, even if it did have a stop motion robot at the end, which I honestly just found adorable. But it's all very like down to earth and grounded. And outside of that, just like scenes of people in rooms talking. Those are like the 2 things that I really enjoy. Which is why like for High and Low, whenever they're like doing the whole like, when the police are like doing their we gotta find out who the killer is, there's just a scene where there are like 20 policemen in a room, and they just go one at a time saying like, oh yeah, we checked out the car, it has like mud on it, the mud like, but it's not mud, it's more so just water mixed with dust in the air, so we can tell that it's from here. And then it goes to the next group, and they're like, yeah, we ran the note, we did forensic analysis on the note, and it just one by one just goes around them. I did hear that. The ocean water is really, really hot. We're living in a hell world, but that's neither here nor there. I cannot do anything about that as a single man living where I am. So unfortunately, I have no more input than I did hear about that, and it's kind of fucked up. It's great, isn't it? Let's stick with things that we can like actually talk about other than just saying that's fucked up. Hot tub should only go as high as 104. Oh no! You can make like edamame in the ocean or something. I don't know how you make edamame. I did it once and I think I did it wrong. So it was I don't know if I'll ever try to make it at home again. Cuz I think I got it at the store and it was frozen and the packet said don't thaw it, just like put it in the water, and I did put it in the water and it was still frozen when I was done like boiling it, or it was like really weird, I don't know. Maybe I just got a really maybe I got like a flash frozen, like a really over frozen one that kind of fucked it up. But that's my edamame experience, unrelated to anything. Not when I finished boiling it, but like for a while. What is edamame again? It's soybeans? It's what you get at the sushi restaurant. Soybeans in the pod. You see it when like your anime characters go to the izakaya. Yeah, when they go to like an izakaya or like a restaurant, it's the Japanese equivalent of like chips and salsa. It's fermented soybeans. Yeah, fermented soybeans, and like you take the entire shell, you put in your mouth, and you eke out a bean at a time, basically. The kind of thing that floats when thawed. I don't know. Maybe. This was like months and months ago, so I don't. All I know is I don't think I did it right. It might have also been that I used a small pot, and like I was supposed to use a bigger pot. Like there was a lot of issues with that when I tried it. I'm trying to think of why like it didn't work. Like, did it say like not like did it tell me not to use that much water, and I didn't use that much water, but I like should have used more water? It was like something really, really weird where when I was done I was like, I don't think I did this right somehow, even though I followed the instructions. It's a very weird scenario. Frozen tortellini, and once it's thawed, they start floating on top of the water. Oh, and so does that make it like weird because they're not actually like in the water? Do you have to like take a chopstick or like a fork and like roll them around? Be like, get back in the water. You gotta get one of those. This is something that I've always wanted to get, but I don't know if they sell them. They have to, right? Like when I used to make French fries before I got an air fryer. Now I have an air fryer, I just use that. But before, when I like made French fries like in actual oil on the stovetop, I always wanted to just, instead of having like to dunk them, like you take the oil, you put it on the stove, you get it really hot, and then you have to put the fries in there, and like you don't just want to drop the fries in, you want to like, you got to drop it close to the oil, but then it's like, oh, I'm gonna burn myself, right? And you can't drop it from high because it will like splash and go everywhere. So like you have to like play this really like subtle game, and it's just like, man, I just want one of those metal things like they have at the restaurant that you can just dunk the entire like thing in, like an inner pot. I don't know what you would call it. And then that way when you're done too, you could just take out the inner mesh thing and then like put it on the paper towel, right? And then you can, and then instead of having to like strain out the fries, like using a second pot to get the oil out and all that stuff, and then you got to put the oil in like a bag or back into the container when you're done, because you can't put it down the drain. I've never done that though, so that's good. No, that means they're done. Oh, really? You don't have to like cook it. You just need to unthaw it, essentially. Huh. Maybe it's like that then. Also, what's up, Blammy? I don't think I acknowledged you when I read your fermented soybeans line, but I hope your Wednesday's going well. Pre-cooked, then frozen. Oh, okay, that makes sense then. What's a tortellini? I thought a tortellini was like a dessert thing. Tortellini. Oh, it's like a little pasta noodle. Oh, what was I thinking of? Tortellini dessert. Is there like a? It's like a thin rod or something like that. Yeah, it's like a ravioli. It's a type of pasta. It's like a ravioli. What am I thinking of? Italian desserts. You spell dessert with 2 S's because you always come back for seconds. That's a life pro tip for you guys. It's a difference between desert and dessert. You always come back for seconds. So you always put an S on dessert. Italian desserts. Deliciously easy Italian dessert recipes. These are terrible. This is just a list with more lists in it. This is terrible. Oh, it's a gallery. Oh. No. Am I thinking of tiramisu? That starts with a T. That doesn't seem right. Oh, I'm thinking of cannoli. I'm thinking of cannolis. Oh, Lord. It ends in an I. It's Italian. I was thinking of cannolis this entire time. Tortellini pasta, cannoli not pasta. Got it. What else have I been up to? I got my cards today. I got more cards today. I wish they made Shadowverse Evolve on the computer. And don't tell me they have Shadowverse Evolve on the computer. It's just Shadowverse. That's not the same. I want Shadowverse Evolve. Cause it's not power crept. I played Shadowverse when it first came out back in like 2015 or whatever, 2015, 2016, 17, whenever that was. And I was like, this is pretty fun. And then I didn't play it until like a week ago when my friend was like, hey, Shadowverse Evolve is a card game that just came out based on the computer game. And I went and I played the computer game again for the first time in years. And I went to the unlimited format where I can play my cards that were rotated out. And I played my deck. And the game is just so crazy in that you can like just summon creatures from your deck at like turn 10 now. And it's just like every card game becomes terrible after like 5 years. So always just get in on the card game in the first 2 years, get your enjoyment out of there, and get out. So that's why Shadowverse Evolve just came out like a month and a half ago. No, just a month ago. It came out at June 30th. And I have my like 85% of a deck. I'm just missing like 4 more cards that I'm waiting to get in the mail. It's so beautiful. I love it. Like a cute little deck. I'm definitely one of those people though that I haven't played a card game since like Yu-Gi-Oh! When I was like a wee little lad, when I was a wee little like elementary school pilot. And so now that I've somewhat gotten into them, you know, I had to get a deck, I had to get a deck box, I had to get deck sleeves, and the last like couple days I've been watching a lot of like YouTube videos about like what's the best deck box, what are the best deck sleeves. Even though I already have both of those and I'm very happy with my purchase and I'm probably not going to buy another one, it's just like, but I want to know. And then I'm like, oh, what if I spent like another $40 on this kind of deck box, and what if I do this, and what if I do this, and what if I do this, like all the like cute like the what ifs, and like, oh, maybe maybe because I have the Dragon Shield sleeves in blue for my Rune deck, because Rune is a blue deck, and then I'm gonna get yellow ones for my Swordcraft deck, which I'm getting in the mail because I got a second deck. Because like, well, why only have one deck? Why not get two decks? One for control, one for aggro, right? And it's like, well, that one's gonna be in yellow sleeves. So I have to get yellow sleeves and I have to coordinate and everything. It's like, it's hard. Just like them pretty creatures on cardboard. What's a Mako? I wish I could say the same for Shadowverse. Shadowverse is very... because I got into card games again, I've never played Magic the Gathering. I played Arena, I guess, a little bit, but I've never played it. But Magic seems like the best card game, and part of the reason why is they have a very unified, at this point especially, they have a very unified, like, artistic theming for the most part. Shadowverse is not that. Shadowverse is just like, you get the most anime-looking characters, and then you get like a golem, and then you get like a character that looks just like photorealistic, and then you get like a penguin wizard. Like, there's no artistic consistency between the cards in like my deck. I kind of wish there was, but at the same time, I think it's kind of like cute. It's just every artist is very, very different in it. If you go to Boston, it's a legal requirement to go to Mike's Pastry. They only take cash, so I think even after all these years, there's still money laundering for the mob. What is Mike's Pastry? Is that just, and since you mentioned Italian desserts, is that like an Italian pastry shop? I do like pastries. I haven't had one in a while though. I have a good donut shop not too far from me. Like on a good day, like they close at noon first and foremost. They close at noon or whenever they run out. It's one of those things where they get up at like 3 in the morning, make the donuts for the day. They're open until noon or when they close or when they sell out, whichever one happens first. On the weekdays, usually you're competing with like all the people that like are in the office, and it's like, I'm gonna get a dozen donuts for everyone. And so like if you go there on a weekday, sometimes they'll be out a lot sooner than you would expect. And then like on Saturday occasionally I go, but then like, oh well, sometimes they're just sold out. But it's nice. It's not like on a good day I can like just walk there and I can get like some donuts. It's so delicious. I haven't done that in like a couple months though. I'm due for it. I just haven't had the like the go get 'em attitude, because I want to walk there. I think it's nice because then by walking there, then I can burn off the donuts that I haven't eaten yet. It's a little famous. Woo! Out the door. No, that's not for Mike's Pastry. That's for Hanover Dry Cleaners. Look, like, it's really hard to tell from this photo, but you can see that they're actually going to the dry cleaners next door. Cool, though. What are Italian dessert? I looked at that Italian dessert thing. I don't think I've actually ever had an Italian dessert, though. I've never had a cannoli or a tiramisu. I did learn the other day, though, that tiramisu is, like, only, like, 40 years old or something. Like, it's actually a fairly recent food, all things considered. At least I think it was tiramisu. The food world is a weird one. How old is tiramisu? There we go. Yeah, it's from the late 60s, early 70s. Don't know what it is still. I'm looking at it. It looks like a cake, effectively. Coffee-flavored Italian dessert made of lady fingers dipped in coffee, layered with a whipped mixture of eggs, sugar, and something cheese flavored with cocoa. Huh. That photo on Wikipedia looks a lot less appetizing than the ones on Google. What's a ladyfinger? That's like a biscuit, right? British English sponge fingers are low-density, dry, egg-based sweet sponge cake biscuits. Yeah, roughly shaped like large fingers. That's what I should be having with my tea. Those poor ladies, they'll grow back. That's really... Ah! Body horror. Just chopping off fingers and they grow back and just like, ah! Ah! Oh. Body horror. Did I have a thing to talk about with body horror? I think I had a passing like thought about it earlier today or yesterday, but I don't remember what it was, which is probably good. What's up, Nukiyashi? What else, though? Talked about movies, we talked about card games. Oh! Not card games, but... And not normal Arknights. Gotcha. I want to play... Guys, I really want to play Blue Archive. just so I can get... Ogata Kana. Her banner is next... is August 1st through the 11th. I've been keeping an eye out. I kind of want... I think I might do one stream next week where I just re-roll until I get Ogata Kana on her banner and then I never play the game again. Because I've looked at the gameplay. It looks like a fine gacha game. I don't think I'm super duper into it, but I really want that police dog like you would not believe, dude. Make a fresh account, just re-roll until I get her, and then just never use the account again. But that way I have her. Like a Pokemon in a Pokeball, that way I can say I have her. Is that like advisable? Body horror, just don't look into a mirror anymore. Nukiyashi. Nukiyashi. Just gonna come in here and drop that. Since you were talking about fingers, for some reason, the devil's fingers, fungus mushroom came to mind. Ooh. Devil's fingers. Do they look like devil fingers? They do! Ooh. I've never seen this mushroom before. The only mushroom I know is like the morel mushroom. And I know that because on Red Letter Media, they watched a video one time about a guy who was like really crazy for morel mushrooms. And so that's why I know what that one is, but that's a cool looking one. Only know of Blue Archive from all the titty posts on Twitter. Exter. Actually, no, they switched it back, Harmonica. I'm pretty sure they switched it back. Or they're supposed to? I think they're trying to? I don't know. I saw some people got it switched back. Maybe? Because I think there's like... I don't know if you guys know about that, right? But like, yeah, Musk switched Twitter to X. I guess, sort of, not really. It's still twitter.com, but like everything's X branded, but at the same time, like Microsoft owns the X trademark for games, and Zuckerberg owns the X trademark for like social media. I don't know if anything's gonna come out of that, but I do enjoy the suffering of people occasionally, and just seeing all that implode is really fun sometimes. I don't have much else to say on the matter outside of that. And also, if you're not already, you can follow me on Twitter. But if you don't want to follow me on Twitter because Twitter is imploding, you can also follow me at misskey.io because I've had one of those for a little bit and I've been using it more recently. Threads is gonna try and rebrand to Twitter. Real? Is that real? That seems like an April Fool's joke. I don't know if that's a joke or not, and that's the worst part. Like, because they could do that. We live in a parody world, but that could legitimately happen, Blammy. It does not make sense, man. Chicken of the forest? That just sounds like a chicken of the sea type of thing. They're growing some trees around my area, and occasionally they will pull one out of the tree and cook it. Oh, that's what this thing is? Also known as sulfur shelf, chicken mushroom, and chicken fungus. I think I've seen this stuff before. This looks like, yeah. I think I've seen this in like a FromSoft. Unironically, I think I've seen this in like a FromSoft game too. But like, I feel like this is a pretty. I didn't know that's what it was called. I'm pretty sure I've seen this before. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not a. As much as that is like Threads, I'm not a Threads person either. Just because it's Instagram, it's Facebook, it's all that stuff, and it's just nothing has appealed to me that I'm like, yeah, I need to use Threads. Because I think Threads is more for like for text-based tweeting. From the little bits I've heard about it, it's mostly like it's better for text. It's not like I use Twitter for posting my going live, and on my private side for looking at like art. And nothing in like Threads has like stuck out to me. None of the artists I follow like have been like, follow me on Threads. They've all been like, follow me on Tumblr or follow me on Misskey. So I had the Misskey from a while ago. I was lucky to like dust it off and just be able to use that, which is pretty nice. Don't just go around and try. I would never eat a random mushroom. They look exactly like a few poisonous mushrooms. Oh, that's because of course they do. That's one of my favorite things in nature is that one's friendly. You see that one where it's just 5 pixels off? That one's gonna kill you. It's like the snakes where it's like red, black, yellow, kill a fellow, black, red, white. No, red, black, yellow, kill a fellow, black, yellow, red, a friend of Fred? No, yellow, red, black, a friend of Jack? I don't know. If I were to see a snake in real life, I would not touch it either way. So that expression, whatever it actually is, means jack shit to me, because I would just be like, that's a snake, don't care, I'm out of here. But it's just like, things are just like, it looks like this, you may or may not die. I'm just not going to take the chance. Nature doesn't want me in it? That's fine. I won't go in nature. I'm very happy in my hangar. On the airfield, out in the middle of nowhere. Can't wait for Twitter to become X, Threads to become Twitter, Facebook becomes Threads, Tumblr becomes Facebook, Misskey becomes Tumblr, and then X becomes Misskey. And we just go in circles like that for the next 10 years. It's gonna be great. What else? What else? Load. I want to look at something. Load. There we go. You. On this, click on this. So we got full band initiative because of the rebrand. Oh yeah, I saw about that. I heard about that. I didn't look any deeper than the headline because I'm a good internet user, but yeah, I saw a little bit about that. I wonder why. Is it literally just because like it can be confused with like XVids and all that kind of like similar related stuff? Because if it's just like for hosting pornographic content in general, like it could have gotten the boot for that like a long time ago, I'm pretty sure. Which might be why that, because I saw for some people like it went back to the Twitter branding, so maybe that's why for only some people it's going back. Like maybe if they're in like the affected area, it will revert, that kind of thing. The app still isn't X, but the website I think is X. Is it? Mine hasn't been forced updated, but I thought I saw some people that had the app as X. Let me grab that. Because my thing still says Twitter, but if I go to the the Play Store. What's the 7? Oh, that's notifications and offers. I don't want that. If I type in Twitter on the Play Store. No, it's Twitter owned by X Corp. It's owned by X Corp. Oh my god. What's X Corp? That's a link. What is that? Oh, it's just Twitter. Okay. I can't believe X Corp. It's so stupid. I guess maybe it was just like a hypothetical I saw then. Because I swear I saw like an image of an X branded app, but that might have just been like someone's proof of concept, or maybe it was just like a really good crop of like the Twitter logo on. Because if you're on like Google or Firefox and you go to like I'm looking at it now on the new tab page, there's like it shows the little like the icons, whatever you call those, on like the browser tabs, and I can see like it has the Twitter icon, and maybe it was just like a crop of that, of like the X website icon. Yeah, I guess they haven't updated the app yet, because that's probably a little bit harder to do, because you have to go through like the Play Store / iStore. What is it called on Apple's side? I don't know. I haven't had an iPhone in like over a decade. The Play Store / the App Store. It's just called the App Store. The Play Store / the App Store. You have to go through the extra hoops, and it's just like we haven't taken the time to actually do that yet, because we don't know if it's actually going to be like a thing, because Elon just decided it on a whim one day. X.com just leads to Twitter. Yeah. Because, I mean, as far as I'm aware, he just owned X.com before that, and so he just had it redirect to Twitter. I don't know what X.com was before. I'm surprised that someone has X.com. Just, you'd think it'd be taken. Like, A.com. Oh, I don't know if I should do this. We're having trouble finding that site. Guys, you want to... Maybe it's not taken. Guys, do you want to, like, buy a website with me tonight? Try again. Buy a domain. Register your domain name. Search for your new domain. Get it. Domains ending in com must be between 3 and 63 letters. Excuse me, what? What do you mean they have to be between 3 and 63 letters? How did he get X.com then? Ace.com. Ah, that's 100% taken. Ace.com is not available. What is Ace.com? Auction Ace and Power Buyers by Data Refinery is here to help you find the most desirable collectible and vintage treasures on eBay while avoiding tens of millions of common and newly manufactured mass market items. You have discovered a favorite tool of major collectors, art dealers, and museums worldwide. What the fuck? That's kind of cool, I think. That's not at all what I thought it would be. I didn't think it was going to be an eBay thing, but cool. All right. You know what? You can keep it. Sure. Fuck it. Just trying to get branding from SpaceX. Oh, yeah, maybe. He might actually have all this stuff be X themes because he's edgy. I that's kind of what I figured too. the young Elon Musk is always great. The Liberty poster. But like, yeah, he has like because it's like a middle schooler, right? Because X is a really cool letter, which I get. That's why we have like XXX Weed Dealer 420 XXX as like a as like your gamer tag. That's why I'm gonna rebrand to XXX Ace Windfall XXX. Because channel is just too obvious. So we're playing Devil May Cry, right? Whenever we're done with that, it's gonna take a bit because we're gonna play tomorrow, but I don't think we're gonna like beat it tomorrow because we're playing in the evening, so not for that long. I'll say Crosscode? Crosscode maybe. I do have Crosscode. I got that on the sale. Actually, I got that before the summer sale. It was on like its own sale, like a week or 2 or 3 or 4 or something before the summer sale. So I've had that for a little bit longer than that. I have that. I have X Zodiac, which I guess plays like a Star Fox game. I've never played a Star Fox game, but that looks cool. I have Faith, the Unholy Trinity, which I guess is more than I thought it was. I saw someone play this before, and I thought it was just like a small game, but I guess there's more to it. I have a few others. I still have Stardew Valley. I want to do Stardew Valley at some point, but I don't know, like, because that's just a forever game. So I don't know when I would do that, like if I would make that a regular thing or what. But I've never played that, and I do like not Animal Crossing, the other one. I guess it's kind of like Animal Crossing to a certain extent too, but it's more Harvest Moony. What mission did I end on again for DMC? It was the final, it was mission 10. Like, I'm literally halfway through. Because mission 10 is the first time you get to play as Dante. And so I did that. And so I have, and there are 20 missions total. So I'm quite literally halfway through. My original idea was going to be, you know, play tomorrow until whatever, and then finish on Sunday. But now, I've got stuff going on Sunday during the afternoon, and during the evening on Sunday, I'm playing in the Melty Blood Heat Wave bracket. So Sunday's off. So we're gonna finish up on next Thursday as well. So Thursday and then Thursday again. And then if there's more, then on the following Sunday, sure. But so it's a little bit further away. Part of me just wants, I like the idea of Crosscode. I want to play Stardew at some point. I don't know. Part of me has always wondered, like, do something lame like Stardew Sunday, and then on Thursday that's when we do like our Crosscodes, our Faiths, our Cyberpunks or something. But that's like, I think that's too cliche. It's too lame. Do like Stardew Saturdays instead. That's still extremely cliche, but Mega Man Zero. I have Mega Man Zero too. Because that was a really cool game that I never played. But I like the art style for it. I like the art style so much. For one time I liked Mega Man Battle Network growing up. And like, this was in like late grade school or early elementary school. I somehow found my way to like a Mega Man RP IRC. And like, I wanted to be a really cool, like, OC character, but I called myself Clow Reed, like, from Cardcaptor Sakura, and they called me out, like, you're just playing Clow Reed from Cardcaptor Sakura, and I was like, oh shit, they found me out, and I never went back. But that's the only experience I had with Mega Man Zero, is that I used art from Mega Man Zero for that. A different Ace would have been born out of that if they never called me out on that. I would have been, instead of sitting here before you today, I would have been like some kind of Mega Man RPer instead. But luckily fate said no, you're not going to be a Mega Man RPer, Ace, you're going to be someone better. It wasn't a Cardcaptor Sakura OC, it was a Mega Man OC that was based off Cardcaptor Sakura. Get it right, Mako! I had my cool Net Navi that used Mega Man Zero art that was just a Cardcaptor character. And he was really, really cool. Because it was literally just like my self-insert OC. Except he was named Clow Reed from Cardcaptor Sakura. And he was a cool Net Navi. And like he was friends with who was like the king of the Undernet or whatever like that, who was like the cool like mysterious Net Navi. Because I played Mega Man 3. Mega Man Battle Network 3 was like I was a Battle Network kid. I didn't play the original Mega Man. I didn't play like X. I played Mega Man Battle Network like 3 through 6. And then I played like, what was after? Star Force or something? I played the first one of those and I didn't really get into it because then that's when I became like too old for like games for a little bit. Or like too old for like hand, I don't know, too old / too busy, and I just didn't do handheld games for a little bit. But Mega Man 3, all that Battle Network stuff was just like beautiful. I still, one of my crowning moments that I was taken from me in Mega Man 3, Mega Man Battle Network 3, there's a part where you fight Bass, and it's one of those fights that's like supposed to be a scripted kill, and it was my first time fighting him, and I almost won. And I think what happens is you can still win that fight, but then it's just like you lose the fight. But I could have been like, hey, I beat this fight though. I was like this close. I had greatness, but I was that close away. I got like killed by some I don't even know what I got killed by. But it was an uphill battle, and I was that close to winning it. And it was a scripted death anyway, so it didn't really matter, but I was just like upset. Mega Man's cool. The concept of Mega Man is cool. No, Mega Man itself is cool, not just the concept. What else? I'm still looking at the Stardew. It's still, I'm just looking at my Steam library and I'm just seeing Stardew. Now I'm looking at Devil May Cry and I'm just thinking with the Void. I want to go in the Void. I think before I stream tomorrow, I'm gonna like just go into the Void and training mode in the Void for like an hour as Dante. Because playing as Dante in Devil May Cry is the most like mind-boggling experience I think I've had. Yeah, like in a game. What did Void time mean? Like in your, what did you think it meant, Harmonica? We were all going into the, what does that mean? Like we just go into like the void of space. We get rid of this. We get rid of the windows. Get rid of the backing of the chat box. And then we're free. We're free. We're finally free. We're in the darkness of the void, and finally we can relax and sit here for eternity. Not thinking, not feeling, floating freely in space for billions and billions of years, growing cold as the darkness of space, as we sift and turn and tumble, until eventually we stop thinking. We can just float and relax. It's beyond space. It's beyond space. We're even beyond space. Here, where are you guys? Here. Scoot you guys down a little bit. There you go. We're all chilling in the void. This is mood right there. all that hard work, that like 15 minutes I put into making that beautiful hangar scene. Instead we're just chilling in the void. I kind of like it. It's dark in here. Oh. There's an echo. What is it echoing off? It's echoing off the void. I don't know, Harmonica. I didn't think that far ahead. I don't understand how physics works. It's the fake void. It's all green screen, Harmonica. Don't you understand? It's all green screen. It's all fake. You've been here the entire time. There are 4 lights. You guys watch Star Trek, right? Go watch Star Trek. I knew it. Go watch Star Trek. Go watch Star Trek. Star Trek TNG. That's one of the good episodes. There's a lot of good episodes. It's Star Trek TOS, TNG, and Deep Space Nine are all hitters. 4 Lights is specifically a reference to the Descent? No, that's probably not right. It's to a 2-parter episode where the second part is that Captain Picard gets taken as a prisoner of war, and he is brought in to meet Cardassian captor, and the Cardassian captor's only thing is he shows 4 lights. He shines 4 bright lights in Picard's face, and he says, "How many lights are there?" And Picard says, "There are 4 lights." And he says, "No, Picard, there are 3 lights." "How many lights are there?" And Picard says, 4 lights. And he just keeps that's basically the back and forth for the majority of the episode. And it's just he wants to just break Picard and just have Picard just like lie when Picard's like, "No, I'm not gonna fucking lie." But like it's just a matter of just being like, I want you to doubt yourself. I want you to be like, there are 3 lights. I'm telling you there are 3 lights. How many lights are there? There are, and he just keeps saying there are 4 lights, just to like reiterate and be like, I'm stronger than you. You can't make me lie. You can't make me like double think myself or whatever. But then at the very end, like it's over the entire course of the episode, and he's like, you know, just he's a prisoner of war effectively, and near the very end he's like beaten up. He's like just had it, and he gets asked again, but then luckily the crew of the Enterprise comes and saves him. But then at the very end of the episode, he's talking with Riker back on the Enterprise, and he's like, "If you hadn't come there at that time, I would have told him there were 3 lights, just to get it over with, just to be free, just to give in." It's a really like it's a good episode. It's just like Picard was strong, and Picard was lucky with time there because good writing, right? But like it's like he's fallible, he's human just like the rest of us, and it's like ooh. Star Trek's good. Go watch TOS, go watch TNG, go watch Deep Space Nine. I don't think they're on Netflix anymore. I think they got taken off and they got put on Peacock, or not Peacock, Paramount Plus. I think Paramount Plus is gonna die though, so eventually they'll come back to Netflix or something like that. And when they do, highly recommend it. I can't stress enough, one of my favorite episodes of like any piece of media ever is Star Trek TNG season 5 episode 2 or 3 or 4. I don't know what the number is, but like it's Darmok. It's the one where Picard and alien beam down to a planet, and the alien speaks a language that cannot be traditionally translated by the universal translator because they speak in metaphor, or they basically speak in meme. And it's like, you know, Darmok and Jalada Tanagra, and he's like, I don't know what that means. And then over the course of the episode, he learns to understand what that means in like their cultural context of like this grand story that plays out. And it's such a good episode, and it shows the basis of what makes good Star Trek, and it's that coming together to solve a problem. Because that's what Star Trek is. It's a hopeful vision of the future of humanity, of people coming together and solving problems. And it's beautiful. And I like that Star Trek Enterprise, as much shit as it gets, the last season of it was good. Enterprise was getting good, and they axed it before its time. It's so unfortunate. I wanted to see Jeffrey Combs as a main player on Enterprise Season 5. He would have been one. He deserved it, dang it. Jeffrey Combs, of course, being a Star Trek veteran who is usually put in like alien makeup and plays a lot of bit characters or one-off characters. And in Star Trek Enterprise, he played a one-off character that became a recurring character that, if they went to a season 5, would have been a part of the regular crew of the Enterprise at that point. And it would have been so good because it was all about the building up of the Federation, which is the Earth, the Andorans, the pig guys, and the Vulcans. I don't remember what the pig ones were. It's the 4 of them are the main ones, and they like come together and they make the Federation. And it's like the Galactic UN, except it's cooler, and they actually have a space fleet, and like but it's mostly about like peace and cooperation and understanding. It's so good, and then they axed it because they were like, this is not getting the ratings, which is understandable. The first 2.5 seasons, 2 to 3 seasons were retreading the same thing that Voyager did, kind of. 3 was okay. Season 3 is like the one where everyone says it gets good, but like it's kind of hit and miss. I like bits of season 3 because season 3 introduces the Species X. Species X, is that what it's called? Or am I just saying that because of Twitter? Because of Exter. Season 3 is like where they introduce a season-long arc about it's a 9/11 allegory. I can't put it any other way because it literally is that, because it came out in like 2002 or 2003. It literally is just that. And it's about them. Earth was attacked, and they go on like a mission, and it's just like, yeah, it's actually not like it goes into a whole thing. It's a very good season, but it's like kind of hit or miss because it's just but then season 4, perfect, and then they kill it. It's unfortunate when joke characters become real characters. Oh, that's nice. That's really fun. have you ever seen Demon Slayer? I think this is my, it's not a hot take. It's somewhat controversial. People may or may not agree with it. I like Zenitsu. I think he's a good character. I really like him. People don't like him because he's kind of a shitty character, which I agree with, but at the same time, I think it's really cool when he does his cool stuff. I think it like makes it mostly forgivable. The idea that the way that he was first introduced to me, where he's just like, I'm a scaredy cat, I don't know what I'm doing, I'm scared, I hate this all, I don't want to be here, and he gets so scared that he falls asleep, and when he's asleep he becomes like a great swordsman. That is so good. I love that so much. There's a lot of like flanderization, or just like they really play up the patheticness, which I can very, very much understand why that gets annoying. But at the core of being a pathetic character that when he falls asleep becomes a competent character, I love that so much. It's so good. And by competent character, I mean he just knows one technique really well, and it's beautiful. He learned it so well he can do it in his sleep. It's so good. I still have not seen the newest season, unfortunately, though. If he didn't yell all the time, he would be better. I agree. Like, there are a lot of things that make him not as good, and I completely do not, I get why people don't like him, but he has potential, and I like him at the very least, like, in theory, because at its core of being scared and weak and pathetic, but having the power to actually be good somewhere locked within him, that's good. Because the arc should be that he's afraid and he's scared and he doesn't know what he's doing, but he's actually really good, he just doesn't know it yet. And then the arc should eventually be that, it's inside of you all along, you literally are that guy, and he's like, oh, I am that guy. But like, obviously they played up more for yucks and everything like that, and then like it gets like screaming and all the other kind of stuff. I've only seen up to Entertainment District, though. I haven't seen the newest season, so I don't know how that is. With the Swordsmith Village arc, I think that's what it's called. Is it good? Has anyone kept up with it? Is it still pretty good? Action and everything. I know it has the love Hashira and the not sound, the snake looking dude, I think, right? Those are like the two main ones for this one. Maybe more. Yeah, is it Mist? Is Mist the one I'm thinking about? He looks like a snake. I don't know. He has like the scarf, and he's like very no, or is Mist Mist is like the quiet one, isn't he? The one that has like almost like dead eyes. It's cool. I'll have to find time to get around to getting that caught up then. I'm still working my way through Girls in Panzer. I haven't gone past episode 6, which I think was the last time I mentioned it, which was like a week or two ago, which was where they are with when they fight Saunders. I need to catch up on that. Because like I said when I mentioned the first time, it scratches the itch that I wish Strike Witches did better, where it has a consistent, like it has like a plot. It's not episodic. I really thought it was going to be an episodic show, but no, it actually has like an overarching plot that like has characters and they do something, because it plays like a sports anime, and that's great. Mrs. Forgetful. Serpent is likely you're thinking of. Is it actually just Serpent? It's not like... Because I thought it was Serpent, but I was like, Serpent's not a... not a, like a... I don't know, an element? I guess love technically isn't an element either. I am probably just thinking of Serpent then, because I was like, yeah, there's a Snake Hashira, but I was like, no, Snake's not an element, it can't be him. But yeah, I probably was thinking of Serpent. I don't know if Serpent's there, but... Yeah, Mrs. the Forgetful one that, like, is... head in the clouds almost. Is there a cloud? No, there's a Cloud Hashira too, isn't there? Or is there not? Cloud Hashira? He's the current... Oh, Cloud and Mist I think are the same thing. Yeah, okay. Or at the very least when I typed in Cloud Hashira, it sent me the Mist one, so my misunderstanding just made it so this works. Yeah, this guy. Yeah, because he's got like dead eyes. He doesn't have the he doesn't have reflections in his eyes. Is Winwin the big guy? Like there's the... No, Wind is the crazy one. Who's the... What is he, Earth? Stone. Stone is the big dude. They all get their cool moment in the sun before they get murdered. I guess not all of them get murdered, but quite a few have been murdered without going into detail for those who haven't seen it. I guess that in and of itself is a spoiler, but it's generic enough. Let's see, what else? Devil May Cry. Doing the Melty Blood tournament on Sunday. Ooh, do we want to do... For next Monday... We can play Melty again. We can do Rev 2. I've been wanting to do Plus R. I might do Plus R on Monday. That might be fun. I've been wanting to do Plus R for a little bit, but I don't know how lobbies would work there. I'd have to like I might... I'm gonna do that. After stream, I'm gonna pop open Plus R and look how lobbies work there. Because Plus R would be fun. Plus R is very different than the normal ones I do. I haven't played Plus R in a hot minute, but Soul feels super duper good in Plus R. He's almost gone. 1 sec. Perfect. What's up, Joe? What color Power Ranger are you? What's your element? Ooh. Great question. I think if we're only basing it off the basic 4 colors of red, blue, yellow, pink, and black, I think I'm the Red Ranger. Because I think I'm a hothead. Generally speaking, I would say red. I don't think I'm blue. I don't think I'm that like I don't have the like the like bookish energy almost. I don't know what any of the other. I only know red and like blue. What's up, Torn? Talking about Power Rangers and your elements. Green Madness. That Madness is not a color. Green Maverick. I could see. That's not one of the basic 5. That is like the bonus one that they add in. I could see green. Green's a cool color. The Green Ranger / the White Ranger. My element's easy. My element's fire. I've always contended that. It's either fire or ice. Fire just because again it's passionate. It's very headstrong. I play characters that have fire already just because they fit what I feel like I am. And then ice, I don't know. I like ice. Ice is just cool conceptually. I've always contended that I am reverse Vlav from Multi-Blood type Lumina, where I do ice at first because I think it looks cool, and then when I lose, I get really upset and I just use fire because I know it's better. I know it fits me more. What's your role in a bank heist? Ooh. What are the options in a bank heist? Like, what you get, like, the muscle and the brains and the dude who's, like, on the cameras? The enforcer? When I played Payday 2, I was always the guy on the cameras, because I like just being on the cameras and running the show. Like, I feel like I'm a good, mastermind. At least when it came to, like, Payday 2, I could, like, be on the cameras and be like, guys, you gotta watch out. There's a god coming. Stewie, watch out on your left. Paul, watch out on your right. I don't know why don't know why I gave me on doing cams a mid-Atlantic accent, but you know, it just kind of feels like that sometimes. Rather instantly learn 5 random language fluency or learn 5 random instruments with 10,000 hours mastery. I think ooh, that's a good one, Torn boy. That's a good one, Torn. Sorry. Ooh, languages could be cool, but there's a lot of languages out there, and like honestly, I don't know what I would use the languages for. I only use like 1.1 languages in my daily life. English, and then I use the 0.1 for when I'm like on like Twitter or Pixiv. So I don't know like how good that'd be. The instruments one is a little bit more like, that has some appeal to me because I don't know any instrument at all. And being able to like play, it's random instruments though, that's the thing, where it's not like I would learn guitar or piano or like any of the ones that like are easy to like show off. It'd be like I would learn like the oboe and the bassoon and the sousaphone and like the harpsichord and the what's the one joke one? The hurdy-gurdy, right? I'd learn like those 5. I'd be like, oh, I know how to play the gong or the cannon from the 1912 overture. Artillery cannon, whatever it is. That'd be kind of cool though, if I got 10,000 hours of mastery with the cannon as one of my percussion instruments. I think I would probably. Ooh. I think I would roll the dice and go for instrument. It's a really tough one though, because I do like the idea of random languages, because like I am interested in language, and like the idea that you just suddenly know other, like, because the more languages you know, the easier it is to pick up on a language, I would argue. And so just learning more language, like being a polyglot is really easy after your like second or third language, allegedly. I don't know. I'm just making that up. That just sounds believable, right? 95% of statistics are made up. I don't know if you guys knew that. It is tough, but I'm a gambling man. Maybe get the guitar or the piano from the 5 random instruments one. As cool as it would be to be like pop out a new fluent language just out of nowhere to really impress someone, but then they'd be like, "What'd you say?" And I'd be like, "Well, that was actually in Swahili or something weird like that." That was in like, is sign language what I like are sign languages in there? Like, what if I just learned 5 random sign languages? That kind of suck. Not that there's anything wrong with sign language, just like that's a little bit less impressive, especially if it's like 5 sign languages, because then like to the untrained eye they all look the same. Isn't sign language universal? No, it's not. There's American Sign Language, there's Japanese Sign Language, there's a lot of different sign languages. Because like language itself is not universal. I assume there's at least 5 different sign languages. You cannot like, how many sign languages? 300 different sign languages. There's a lot of sign languages. Why are they different? Because it's the idea for sign language isn't to like communicate with everyone that knows sign language. It's to be able to communicate with like people who speak English want to be able to like speak, like, because the way that your brain works when you're like, language is a very dictating force, and it's really easy to like convert from English speaking to English sign language than it would be to like convert English speaking into like a generalized sign language, I would imagine, right? Also, it could be the fact that, again, I'm just pulling this out of my ass, but the other thing is like, it could be possible that the sign languages develop independently of each other. Like, it's like American Sign Language and like German Sign Language and Japanese Sign Language all like independently became a thing. And the idea of unifying them is just like, why would we do that? We are fine with what we have. Is there a universal sign language? There is no universal sign language. Different sign languages are used in different countries or regions. For example, British Sign Language is a different language from American Sign Language, and Americans who know ASL may not understand BSL. So it's just, it all comes down to like just your culture, your area that you grew up in a little bit as well. Because like you want to learn like stuff that is applicable to what is around you, like your local slang, for instance. That's a really like weird example, but like that's what comes in my mind as far as like what is around you. Where like a universal sign language probably wouldn't have that. It's more important to be able to talk in your day-to-day than it is to talk to someone that you might never see, but who lives in like a part of India or like in Mexico City or something like that. You'd much rather learn to speak to people in your hometown in like Paris or something like that. I don't know. If your hometown is Paris. Language is neat, is what the point of that is, though. It's all about communication. Yeah, I think it'd be the muscle. So what's my decision? Instruments? Yeah, I think I'm still going with instruments because I might luck out. And like, even if I get shitty percussion instruments, maybe I can still like do that. They're both good. It's a really good question, Torn. I think I would go with percussion though, or with instruments, because if I get like guitar or piano, then that's just an immediate, like, yeah, I can do something cool. Whereas with languages, like, even if I get, like, I can speak French fluently, it's like, where am I gonna, what, am I gonna go to France now? Like, ugh. I just don't see it being able to use it as much in my, like, daily life. But again, languages do allow you to learn other languages easier, and just you get access to more, like, portions of the internet, for instance, which in and of itself is its own, like, thing, right? And it's just like, when you're browsing the internet, you come across a comment in a different language, and you just be able to understand now, and it's like, oh, ooh, oh, what a nice quip there, my fellow French speaker, hon hon, or whatever. But I think I'd roll the dice and take instruments. Because even if I get, well, like, oh, I get the hurdy-gurdy. I can just go buy a hurdy-gurdy and then boom. And then if I have 10,000 hours, I can go and, like, do musicians get paid? Like, if you were in, like, an orchestra, I assume you get paid. I could go, like, 10,000 hours seems like a lot. I don't know if it is a lot. Seems like a lot, though. You can probably, like, join an orchestra as, like, a second chair or something like that and get, like, an extra $50 every so often. That'd be kind of cool. Continue to be fluent in 5 languages IRL. Oh, sick. English is your first. Learned German in 4 years of high school. And currently learning Spanish. There's a lot of Vietnamese people in my area, so I'd like to be able to learn that. Then Russian. Nice! I like it, Torn. I'll say, so, like, would you agree then, like, currently you're learning Spanish. Does your like, knowledge of how to learn a language from German, is that helping you think? Because, like, whenever I learn, you know, when you're in school and you're learning English in, like, English class, you're kind of like, whatever. But then you start learning, like, a different language and you start understanding, like, what they mean when they say, like, you know, adjectives, adverbs, conjugation. You're like, oh, now I understand what these mean and why these are important. And so I assume, like, the more and more you just keep going. No! German and Spanish when you're trying to think in Spanish. I guess that is the one wrench in it a little bit, because it just, like, everything gets jumbled around in there. And, like, sometimes one language will have a word that's really, really good and succinct for it, but you need to say it in the other language, and it's like, I don't know what the word for it is in this other language. Especially when something like German, where you can just smash words together and make a word, where you can't do that as much in, like, Spanish or English. Spanish will help you learn Portuguese and Italian because of Romance languages. German will help you learn Polish or Dutch. German will not help you learn Spanish. I think, but the general idea, obviously you said you learned it in high school though, so I don't know how much, like, that works out in the end, right? Because the way you learn something in high school versus learning it, like, on your own or in a different setting can definitely change. But just, like, the way that's always what I've heard at the very least. I only know the 1.5 languages though, so I always like to think that it becomes easier just because you know the general stuff. What's the music? I feel like I'm in Olive Garden. It is Full House. It's in my, it's in the panels. Chatting song, Full House, by Make a Field Music. I got off Dova Syndrome, because that has just a lot of royalty-free music. It's very nice. Would recommend, if you ever need royalty-free music. That's where I get my opening song and my ending song, too. German give you a better understanding of English. Oh, there you go, see? Which makes sense, because English is more Germanic than it is a Romance language. But English is a fun language, because it's very much a mixture of a lot more. Because you get the Germanic from German, and you get, like, a lot of romantic stuff from, like, the Normans? I don't know my British history, I'm gonna be honest, but, like, because everyone was up in the British Isles during that part where English formed. Don't really understand dative case, but you have to know it in German. I don't even know what that is, because I don't think that's a thing in Japanese or in English as much. The dative case is a grammatical case used in some languages to indicate the recipient or beneficiary of an action. Oh. So, okay, never mind. This is a thing in Japanese with ageru, kureru, and morau a little bit. If my understanding of what this means is correct. A grammatical case whose main function is to show the indirect object of a verb. We gave a bone to our dog. We gave our dog a bone. What? I don't know what that meant. Dative case is to whom, as normative is to who. Oh. Maria gave Jacob a drink. Maria gave whom a drink? Who/whom? Okay. English, German, Latin, Greek, Slavic, Baltic, Armenian, non-Indo-European languages. Finnish. I love that. I love that Finnish is a non-Indo-European language. Finnish does not have a separate dative case. However, the allative case can fulfill essentially the same role as dative beyond its primary meaning of directional movement that is going somewhere or approaching someone. Huh. That's interesting. Cool. I love Finnish. If I were ever to learn a third language, it would be Finnish, just because I think it's weird that it's made up. It just is there. Its roots are very weirder than a lot of the other languages in its area. It's not Latin based. It's not like Germanic based. It's just it's Finnish, and it's not at all like any of the other like. I guess there is a bit more. There is like some overlap, but it's very different than like your Swedish and your Norwegian. We just use who for whatever, and we only have one word for the. The just being like any definitive article. Does German have more than one word for the? I don't know. I've never taken German. I only know random German phrases. Gesundheit, Alvito saying, Guten Morgen, Guten Tag. The classic ones that basically everyone knows. 6 distinct forms of the definitive article. Why? What do they do? Der, die, das, den, dem, des. To really just differentiate definitive. German definitive articles. Masculine, feminine, neutral. Sure. Singular, plural. Grammatical cases. Oh, okay. For nominative, accusative, dative, and genitive. Okay. That's a lot. Huh. But there's 16 you have to memorize. Yeah, based on all of the different versions of it, right? Because masculine, feminine, neutral, single, plural, nominative, accusative, dative, genitive. 6 times 3 is 18. Close enough to 16. Because some of these might not like overlap or something like that. I have no idea. I'm just basing this off a random article I found. Two additional forms of the which are not definitive articles. Oh, like the indefinite article, you mean like? Like ein. Je and destro, which are used for cases such as the more the merrier. Oh, this thing has a thing on Ich bin ein Berliner. Why? He talks about the struggles of the Soviet-controlled East and stated support for West Germany, expressing solidarity with the city and famously proclaiming Ich bin ein Berliner. In English, you might say, I'm a New Yorker, but as you know now, in German, you generally leave out the article for such statements. That means a native speaker wouldn't say, I'm a Berliner. They would just say, Ich bin Berliner, or Ich bin Berlinen. Oh, that's why. That's why they always say that thing. The only reason this became a funny story is that a Berliner is also the name of a popular German dish, the delicious jelly-filled donut. Some people argue that JFK's sentence would have been grammatically correct if he had, in fact, been talking about that dish. Oh, that's why. I've always heard that, and I was like, why? I don't understand why he's saying he's a donut, just because there is also a donut called that. But it's because he should have dropped the article to say it. That's cute. There you go. We learned something today. Ich bin Berliner. I'm a Berliner who is the Green Ranger. I can have fire powers. And I'm also the muscle. Vietnamese is gonna be difficult. Any, like... Because Vietnamese has its own, like, alphabet, too. I'd say any language that you have to learn a new alphabet for is definitely gonna be tricky starting out. With the possible exception of, like, Korean. Because I always hear Korean's very easy to learn, because Korean's a very modern alphabet, and was designed to be easy to learn from, like, an alphabet standpoint. So with the possible exception of that, like, I would argue anything with, like, an additional, like, new alphabet or new, writing system in general is, like, a big hurdle. Like Japanese with its kanji. Kana is fine. Kana is like something you can learn like a weekend. But like doing the kanji, it's like you need to know like 2,000 for typical everyday use, and beyond that, there's like over a couple thousand more for just weird niche cases. Different from the mouth when speaking. Like, does it use like the? I didn't know that. Huh. Like it uses different vowel sounds or something like that that aren't used in other languages? Or something. I don't know. I don't know what Vietnamese sounds like off the top of my head. Huh. Yeah. Wow. Huh. That's kind of cool. I like that. Gotta get used to that. They vary pitch a lot. Oh, no. I'm lucky that I don't know pitch. I haven't had to worry about pitch that much in the stuff that I've done. Pitch and tone, any of that stuff is that's a very interesting one. You know something that people talk about a lot that I don't understand? I guess I just got lucky genetically. Whenever people talk about like learning a different language, a lot of times people bring up Spanish and rolling your R's. And I guess some people just can't do that, which is really weird to me. Because I learned Spanish in like high school, right? Like for a year or something like that. But I could roll my R's before that. It's just something that I can just do. So it's like retro, I don't know. Rodejo Drive. Like, I don't know, it's easy to roll your R's. And I feel bad for people that can't roll their R's because it's like, it seems so easy to do, but some people just can't do it. Send you a video of Vietnamese being spoken. You can send a video in chat. Yeah, there we go. That was not... Let me just, Torin, thank you so much for sending me a man pointing a gun at me. Open the video and just get man pointing gun at me.
hai vụ là thằng mất dạy đó, nó chuyên ngôn là chữ thề, thằng vô văn hóa, con chó của cộng sản. Mày để chút xíu tao lóc mày ha. Bây giờ tao không muốn nói gì cho nhiều. Thằng hai vụ tao im, mày im đi, mày đừng nói chuyện, mày chữ thề làm chết mày với tao cho mày. Mày chữ thề tao bắn mày liền á. Tao bắn mày á. Mày tưởng tao có súng hả? Tao bắn mày á. Có súng đây nè. Thằng hai vụ á, mày có chân á, tao bắn mày á. Mày tưởng mày ăn hiếp nhân dân là tại nhân dân không có súng. Ở đây tất cả chúng tao đều có súng hết á.
It is very like, I don't know what. It's hard to parse because it's a very different language than what I know. But I can see what you mean when you talked about like different vowel sounds. Because yeah, it sounds like it's using more like the back of your mouth, more so than I think. I'm talking right now. I'm talking. This might just be like I'm getting my language mixed up with like my voice. I talk in like the front of my mouth a lot. I feel like. If I talk in the back of my mouth, I sound like this. If I like talk in my like there's a difference between like chest voice and head voice and like what like vowel sounds are, so that's kind of confusing. But I feel like I'm like trying to imagine where my tongue is right now as I'm speaking, and my tongue is mostly in like the front of my mouth. And I would think that like what they're doing is like tongue in the back of your mouth more. That's kind of what it is, which is different than head voice, chest voice. That's a different thing entirely. That's where your like vocal flaps are, or how they're positioned. I don't know what he was saying, but it says mad guy with a gun, mad Asian guy with a gun, so he was probably mad and he pulled a gun at me, so I got scared. Threatening some kids, I think. Oh no! In Minecraft, right? In Minecraft. Pull out my cards one more time. Again, I just want to reiterate, please play Shadowverse Evolve in stores now. I got my cool shiny new foil cards in the mail. They're really cool. Can't wait to go to a local, which is not a thing around here for Shadowverse Evolve. I can't go to my local game store and play Shadowverse Evolve. Maybe someday though. Throw those back in there. Alright though. I think we've hit on everything. I didn't make my Zatsu notes as well this time, so we've exhausted them. I've got nothing else. I know nothing else. So I think it's about time we wrap up. Ben, you're just in time. I think we're gonna wrap up, but you got anything else? Stick around for a little bit longer. Say good morning. Arrived at the end of the stream. We got like a couple of them more time. What you bring with you today, Ben? What's the word on the street? Is that a Gucci belt you're wearing, Ben? Ooh. Are you talking to me, Torn? Because this is not a Gucci belt. You think I can afford a Gucci belt on a washed up, not washed up, on a fighting pilot salary? I wish. Torn, if you upped your subscription to a tier 3 sub, maybe I could. Don't do that, don't do that. You get no benefit from being a higher tier sub. Zom 100. What is Zom 100? It's amazing anime. Explain further. I need to know what this means. Is that new? I don't know what... I don't think I've heard of Zom 100. In the 40s, maybe. The only zombie anime I know off the top of my head is Zombieland Saga, and also Is This a Zombie? But I don't know anything about that one outside of the name. It's a new anime. Okay, so it's new from this season, then, if it's only 3 episodes in. Huh. You said you were forced to watch, but it was amazing, so you're glad you were forced to watch it? What's it about? It's about 100... Is it about, like... Zom 100? It makes me think of... It's like a zombie battle royale, or... Part of me also wonders if it's like... For some reason I'm thinking it's zombie romance, where there's 100 zombie, like, eligible bachelorettes, and the main character has to go one by one and eliminate every zombie, because he doesn't, like he doesn't match with them, and the one zombie that's left is going to be his true love, or something like that. I think that's way too interesting, though, so I don't think it's that. Unexploited company, the zombie apocalypse happened, so he's glad it happened. Oh, that's cool. What's the 100 for? Now he makes a list of 100 things to do before he dies. Okay. That's kind of cute. Zombie apocalypse, 100 things to do before you die. That's fun. And that's new? Zom 100. Bucket list of the dead. Wow, it really is. Huh. That's cute. A live-action film adaptation is set to premiere on Netflix in August 2023. That's next week! Yeah, it is next week. Wow. Cool. At the very least, I'd be interested in looking at that. Even it's directly like it's so early. It's so like it's not like a Netflix anime adaptation. So it could be interesting. Ooh. Well. Akira of the Dead, Bucket List of the Dead, Best Friend of the Dead, Sakura Mochi of the Dead, Flight Attendant of the Dead, Hero of the Dead, RV of the Dead, Trucks of the Dead. It's all of the dead. Trash Chase just did a watch along with this. Oh, gotcha. So there's a chance it won't become a VOD. Oh, so it was a unarchived, like, watch along. Cool. That's fun then. There's only the 3 episodes out now, July 9th, 16th, 23rd. Oh, did it? Oh, so it comes out every 23rd. It comes out every Sunday then. Cool. And they did Akira, Bucket List, Best Friend, and the next one is Flight Attendant of the Dead. Huh. Watch the anime because live action anime tends to flop. That's the thing though. It's coming out next month, which means it's not an anime adaptation. It'd be like a manga adaptation, which is also pretty tend to floppy, but like it could be. I'm gonna ear to the ground it. If someone says like it's not that bad, I might check it. Oh wait, I don't have Netflix. Shoot, I forgot. I lost my Netflix. Shit. Well, I guess there's probably some other way I can like either the anime or the Netflix, so I do want to like find it some way and try it out, test it out. Once I work through the stuff that I already have to work through, of course. Could be good though. I trust Ben. Ben hasn't steered me down the wrong path before. Zom 100. Add that to the list real quick. Zom 100. Right next to House, 1977. First up is very cinematic. Ooh, I do like cinematic. Even has a black bar at the top and bottom. Letterboxing. And there's a scene where he removes the bar and the whole tone of the anime changes. They break the... Oh, I like that. When they cut the letterbox. That's adorable. Okay, you sold me. I like it when people fuck with the letterboxing and pillar boxing. That's adorable. transitions are amazing. Ooh, I do like good transitions too. Like it zooms in on like it's like someone's really confused and their eyes are spinning, and then zooms in on the eye, and then the eye turns into like a wheel, and then it zooms out and the wheel is like a car, and that's the transition or something like that. I don't know. That's something I literally just made up off the top of my head, but I think there's something similar to that in something with like the wheel. Like stuff like that. Oh, I do like that. You missed it. We talked about movies already, Ben. You missed that part. We talking about like Kurosawa? Yeah, Kurosawa. Akira Kurosawa films. Just watched the first episode of Bocchi Rock last night. Now excited for Zom 100. Ooh. Well, luckily Bocchi is out now, so you can just like watch all of it. You don't have to like wait for Bocchi. Zom 100 you have to wait for. You have to wait like one, because since it's a currently airing anime, you have to wait once a week and check them out one at a time. Have to make time. It's fun though, being able to watch like currently airing anime. It's something I haven't done in a while. The last time I was watching like keeping up with a seasonal anime was Loomis Witches, which was back in like 2021. Oshinoko as well. I think that's out though. I think that's finished though, right? Because that was like earlier this year, or at the very least last season. So you should be also able to just like binge that as well as Bocchi. Bofuri. Bofuri, what I think it is? That's the one with the boats? No, it's not. Bofuri, I don't want to get hurt, so I'll max my defense. Oh, wait, what am I thinking of? Oh, what am I thinking? What am I thinking of? Girls Un Panzer, but with ships. No, not the school ships. Haifuri! That's understandably confusing. Bofuri is the maxing of defense. Haifuri is high school fleet. That's why it is. Oh, I know this girl though. She's in Dengeki Bunko. I'm pretty sure. Dengeki Bunko Fighting Climax characters? I think she's an assistant in Dengeki. Maple. No, maybe she's not. Maybe I just know her as the character from Bofuri, and then that's it. Yeah, she's not in here. Is this even Dengeki Bunko? Was I just completely off when I said that? Yeah, it's from Katakawa Books. It's from Yin Press / Katakawa. Whoops. That's not Dengeki Bunko at all. Have you watched Bofuri? I have not. No, I think I just know this character. Because like I'll see screen grabs of like current anime and stuff like that, and I think I just know her from like a screen grab of that at some point. Because when did this come out? When did the anime come out? The original run is 24 episodes from 2020 to 2023? That doesn't seem right. What were the 2 seasons? There were 2 seasons and they split it. One was in 2020 and one was in 2023. I probably saw it earlier this year then. Okay, that kind of makes sense. balance time with all the anime, movies, series, and games. It's tough. It's tough. Like I have not watched that much anime because of that. Like it's so much easier, or like any series in general, it's so much easier to watch a movie. That's why I've been watching a lot of movies lately, where it's just I can sit down for 2 hours and then I'm done with the movie. But with anime, it's like I have to like take time to watch, like, because what is it? It's like 6 hours, so I'd have to like sit down and watch a little bit now and a little bit later. And like for anime, I can really only do it on my computer. I can't really do it on like my TV. Even though I'd like to be able to like do it on my TV, it's just harder to like set up and do that. Even with my, I set up a computer to attach to my TV to make doing stuff like that easier, but it's an old computer, so it takes like a long time to boot up. And last time I booted it up, it had to like, I think it's broken. I haven't booted up since then, but it was like, it did the entire thing where it like turned on the black screen and was like, hey, we got to reformat, or not reformat, but it was like, we have to do a disk check. And I think the disk check failed, and I haven't gone back and like tried it again. So don't know how well that's doing, but like anime is hard to watch because of stuff like that for me recently. Not isekai. Oh, really? But they play VR games and it's Maple's first video game. Okay. I'm actually surprised it's not isekai, because the way that it's like a light novel, especially with like the long title, and about like maxing your defense and everything, makes it very much seem like it would be an isekai. So it being like a video game is it's kind of cuter in a sense. Because then that also means you can like hop in and out of, you know, in-game versus out of game and stuff like that. She doesn't know video game etiquette and like stat balancing and stuff, so she tends to break the game with her extreme thinking. Oh, that's cute. I like that. Tech savvy with all the new inventions. It is something else. Movies are easy though. I get to just hit the button on the HBO and it gives me a movie. Instead of having to like get streaming service for anime or some other roundabout way. It's nice though, whenever you do get the time to like go and sit down and watch your anime. Because as hard as it is for me to like sit down and take the time for it, every time I do watch Girls in Pants, I get really like excited. And it makes me want to go and like watch other anime that I know that I like, and like give them a rewatch, like Ping Pong or something. Ping Pong is a really, if you have not watched Ping Pong the animation, that's up there as one of my favorite. And if you like doing anything competitively, please go watch Ping Pong. It's such a good like delve into like a competitor mindset and like all the different characters, because I like that it doesn't just focus on one character. There's like 4 to 5 main characters that it technically kind of has, and it's just really, really well done. And it has a very unique style, which can be a little bit of a hurdle for some people, but like if you can gel with that, or if you can get over that hurdle, it's so good. Is it like March comes in like a lion? Ooh, I don't know, because I don't know Sangatsu no Lion. What do you mean it's like March comes in like a lion? Because I've never actually watched March comes in like a lion. Having reached professional status in middle school, Rei is now one of the few elites in the world of shogi. Oh, is that what that's about? Wait. I thought it was like a romance anime. Genres, drama, slice of life. What the fuck? I did not know what Sangatsu no Lion was about. Due to this, he faced an enormous amount of pressure, both from the shogi community and his adoptive family. Seeking independence from his tense home life, he moves into an apartment in Tokyo. Take poor care of himself. There's probably similar themes. But reading over this synopsis I'm seeing right now, I don't know if it's that close. There's probably similar themes, and there's probably a lot of stuff that does overlap, though. Just because they both are about competing in something. I might have to go check this out now, actually. But there's probably some other anime that it uses like a month. It's probably like with May or something like that. That I'm confusing this with. I 100% thought this was like a romance anime anytime anyone brought it up. Like how the best player finds out about life. It is, yeah, it's kind of like that then. Yeah, Ping Pong is. Because Ping Pong is like, there's a lot of characters, and one of them is Smile, who is like, he's like a robot. His like nickname is Robot. You're a Lion April. I was probably thinking of You're a Lion April, because like March comes in like a lion. You're a Lion April, or like any. I might have been conflating stuff like that. I don't know. Just like whenever it comes to like months, it's usually romance. But like Ping Pong is like, there's a character called Smile. He's has the nickname Robot because he just like, it's very mechanical and very like, he's a ping pong robot where he's just like really, really good at it, but he doesn't like have passion or heart into it. And then there's Pecco, who was like almost like a child prodigy, but he's just like lazy now and just like doesn't really like get into it very much anymore. But over the course of the series, like Pecco eventually like gets back into it, and that like unfreezes Smile's heart to a certain extent, and it's just really nice to see. And all the while there's Dragon, who's like he's like the big bad like villain almost, but like at heart he's just like, you know, he's the kid that has a lot of pressure on him to do really well, and so because of that he like comes off as rude and like brusque. And after playing like Pecco, he's like, oh, I understand why I do this now. It's like, I do it because I do actually have a love for the game somewhere inside me, deep inside. And there's like characters like China, who is originally from China. He goes to Japan because he fucked up when he was on the Chinese national team, and so he goes to Japan instead. And he's like trying to like be like, no, I'm not a fuck up. I can do it. I'm better than all you like shitty like high school players that I'm playing with. But then it's like, you know what, at the end of the day, China finds like it's not about being better, it's about like being teammates, and he can find like his place, he can find a home. And like there's just a lot of like good character bits in it. Yeah. Talking about asking for anime recommendations. It's tough. I can give you anime recommendations, but yeah, it's tough. My go-tos are always if I can only recommend one, though, it depends on what type of person you are, what type of anime watch you are, but no one talks about it as much as they should, and it's Yozakura Quartet, Hana no Uda specifically, / any of the Tatsunoko Yozakura Quartets. Because Yozakura Quartet is a manga series made by Yasuda Suzuhiro, who most people know because he's the character designer for Baccano and like the Digimon Cyber Sleuth. Storytelling the most. Ooh. This isn't storytelling, this is more character-y. Yozakura Quartet. It's more about it's like the perfect like shonen anime, but it's not shonen, it's more like seinen, where it's just like, I like that it's just like it's like 2 to 3 episode arcs, and it's just we are the characters in this town, we all have very defined traits. There's the mayor, there's Akiya, they all have powers, they're all it's the town of Sakura Shimachi, Sakura New Town, which is where the yokai gather, because Akina, who is like the main guy, him and his family can tune the yokai back into their original world, because they're not supposed to be on Earth, they're supposed to be in like their own world. But he doesn't do that until they get old, because people don't know what happens to you in the other world. So it's like essentially he kills you at the end of your life. and so he's got a lot of pressure on him from that. So instead, what he and like the mayor of the town, who is obviously she's a high school girl, Hime, those two along with a few others make, you know, they try to make the town as best as possible so the yokai can like live out their life there instead of wanting to like be sent back to the other world, which is confusing and weird. No one knows what goes on there. And then the villain shows up and the villain's like, I'm from the other world. It's terrible. It's horrible. You're all terrible people. I'm gonna bring the terrible to you. And then it really doesn't matter because it's just goofy. Like every arc is like someone becomes evil, they fight. It's beautifully animated, and then at the end of the day, the villain becomes friend with them, and they become a recurring character that pops up like three arcs later, and it's like, oh, I remember them from 3 arcs ago, and it's like, oh, it's really cute. And just really, really well animated too. I can't like stress that enough. Make sure you watch Yozakura Quartet Hana no Uda, Tsuki Naku, and Tatsun and Hoshino Umi, though, not just the one that says Yozakura Quartet, because that's the bad one. It has to be the ones from the 2010s, not the ones from the 2000s, because the one from the 2000s was the manga, which I read up to a certain point. I haven't read it recently, but like the manga which I read up to a certain point, it didn't know what it was doing for the first like couple chapters, so they're kind of bad. And the original anime adapted the bad chapters and then gave it an anime original ending. The remake anime gave it an anime original opening and then adapted the good chapters and on. So that's what I would recommend. Don't watch the old one, because the old one has like it's not as cool looking. It's definitely not as well like animated, because like on the newer one they used digital animation, and it's like one of the first anime, at least for Tatsunoko, that they did fully digital, and it like shows like it's really, really well done the way that everything is animated. And also importantly, the first one adapts the chapter where Hime adopts a dog, and then the dog is like misbehaving, so she slaps it in the face, and it's just really it's stupid. It's so stupid. It makes me laugh. I'm pretty sure like if you go into like Discord gift search and like type in like anime dog slap, you might see it. I don't know. I feel like I kind of want to test it out actually. Hold on. Anime dog slap. Yes! Oh my god, I was right. If you type in anime dog slap, that's the very... It's the first 3 results is from Yozakura, from the bad Yozakura Quartet. And it has the bit where she slaps the dog. No! It's so bad. Don't watch that one. With the DV, yes, from what I understand about them, yes, it's kind of like that. Do the one that has like adapts the later and better parts of the manga, not the earlier and the shittier parts. I don't know if that's exactly the same for FMA, but vaguely, yeah. Watch the newer version. Again, though, that's not a story. If I was to recommend just one story-focused manga, story-focused anime, storytelling anime. Have you ever watched, when you say story, you mean like drama or just like a good story that has like a good like arc over 12 episodes? Because like if you need drama specifically, that's going to be a little bit harder. I think I can find one. Honestly, it's ping pong in that case, but like if you just mean like a good story in general and you've never watched it, Bakano is really good. That's like a go-to. It gets a little tricky because it's going back and forth between a lot of like different time periods, but overall the story, like once you piece it together, I think is very, very fun. Or if you've never seen the OVA for Death Billiards, that is just a straight up good story. Because there's Death Parade, which was so Death Billiards. There was everyone knows Little Witch Academia. That was originally an OVA from, I don't remember what it was called, but it was like an event where they always just released a bunch of anime OVAs. Trigger did Little Witch Academia. At that same whatever it was, one of the OVAs was called Death Billiards. And Death Billiards is basically the prototype for Death Parade. And as the name implies, it's they go to the Death Parade like place and they play billiards. An old man and a young man. And that's it's because it's just so simple, because it's just like this is the premise, it works better than Death Parade as a whole IMO. Because Death Parade as a whole kind of introduces like other layers to it, like all these other weird like deity, death, whatever they are called, and just like the individual like there are some good individual episodes, but I think Death Parade as a whole kind of like gets bogged down in some of its like weirder stuff. From what I remember, I haven't watched it since it came out, but like Death Billiards specifically like focuses just on these two players playing the game, and like it's the quintessential bit. So I would definitely recommend that if you get a chance to find that somehow. Kind of was amazing, but they didn't finish the anime, right? It got canceled. No, they finished it. It has if you watch, there could be more. Like the anime has an ending. It didn't get canceled. It's one of those things where there's more source material that they could adapt. Like it could get a season 2 if they wanted to. But the anime, the 12-episode anime, has a definitive ending, and there's also 3 OVA episodes that also give it like a little tie-up wrap-up at the end. Which it has, you know, it's also set on a train, which I've famously, I love stories set on a train. Part of it's set on a train, so that's kind of why I like it. But no, yeah, it has a definitive ending. I'm trying to think what might have gotten canceled, because I don't know what else would have gotten canceled like that. Because the only other thing that's similar to Baccano is Durara. And Durara also got like a definitive ending that wasn't canceled, even though for the longest time people wanted a season 2 for Durara and they didn't get it, and then they did get it in like 3 single cores, which was crazy. Like it was a split 3-core season 2, which was pretty alright, and that like wrapped up I think basically everything with the Baccano novels. But Baccano peaked at like episode 13 or whatever. The season 1 was fine. Season 2 for Durara, not for Baccano, Durara. Durara season 1 is fantastic. Season 2 is all right, from what I remember. I think the colors arc and the blue square, yellow square, whatever it was arc are peak, and then nothing else really compared to it. I liked, what was his name, Kita. Learning that the stuff about Mikado, the main character, like with him relating to the colors, and then the stuff with Kita being related to the yellow. It's like it's not the yellow squares and the blue squares. It's like the blue squares and the yellow scarves. That's what it is. It's like the stuff with Mikado and the colors, and then Kita and the yellow scarves, and all that just come together. Just peak, and then everything else in season 2 is kind of like it's all right. Nothing ever reached that same peak, but it was okay. So that's my recommendation. Any of those ones. There might be other ones, but I'd have to like go find what my list of what anime I actually watched, and I don't know where on earth that could be right now. That was good though. Alright then. Well, let's reacquiesce. Is that a word? Watch The Eminence in Shadow. I've heard it's good. I have not watched it. Eminence in Shadow. Guilty pleasure. One Japan desires to be a mastermind who exerts power from the shadows, but in the process of training gets hit by a truck and dies. I didn't know what it was about. He's reborn in a fantasy world as Sid Kageno, where he maintains a perfectly mediocre appearance as to not stand out and pursue his dream manipulating from the shadows. One day he stumbles upon an elven girl infected by mysterious disease and cures her. Sid makes up a story explaining this world is secretly run by the Cult of Diablos and his secret organization, Shadow Garden, are the only ones that can fight them. The elven girl, now named Alpha, joins the organization and begins recruiting new members. However, the stories Sid made up were actually true, but he believes it to be a total illusion. Sid continues fighting the Cult of Diablos under the alias Shadow, completely unaware that he is involved in a complicated power struggle. What the fuck? That's amazing. I love that. That's... Stumbled upon the right answer. Always rolls an at 20 so the world is forced to play with his BS. That's so fucked up. That will paint all my understanding of Imminence and Shadow from now on. I did not know what that was about. I just heard like, oh yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. That's cool. I'll have to add that to the ever-growing list. At some point in the next 45 years, I'll check it out. Would you recommend Zom 100, Sangatsu no Lion, or Imminence and Shadow first out of those three, though? I'm out of tea. Oh no. All those knew what they were doing was the Vast were having fun and the animations were exaggerated. Oh, nice. I like that when you can tell the people working on it were having fun with it. I agree, Nukiashi. I agree. We're out of tea. We had good talk. We talked about movies. We talked about anime. We talked about insert third thing here. Imminence first. Perfect. Mark that. Let's wrap up. Do we got anything else? Devil May Cry tomorrow. Learn how to play Sudoku on Saturday. Nothing on Sunday. Do I need to update my schedule, I think, after this? I think I had the thing on Sunday, but I think I have to move that. Since I will be busy. Where's my schedule? Click on this. Click on this. Yeah, I'll have to get rid of that. Okay. Yeah, those are the next two. I don't think I have anything else. So thank you guys for watching. I'm going to set you free. I'm going to set you free. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. And I'll catch you next time. Peace out, everyone.